everybody, Killer Wilson here, and today I will be doing What Deku Was Tristan Part 17. So, in the last part, it was the time for Class 1A's final exam, with Deku and Bakugo being the same in canon. They would have been put in the same team and facing off with All Might. And while Deku was fighting All Might, Bakugo would have set a trap which would have basically blown off an entire building and dropping it onto All Might. But whenever Bakugo did drop that entire building onto All Might, who was weakened by Deku by using the end of a spear which was flat and plunging it into his injury, him not being able to recover in time to throw a smash into the building and save himself. Deku, seeing that All Might doesn't even have the strength to hold a punch, or grip his hand into a fist, he would have rushed in to save All Might. Now, continuing the story, whenever Deku did reach All Might, the building would have dropped on both of them, which would have, of course, shocked everyone, including the teachers and the entire Class 1A plus Bakugo, as Principal Nezu would have called off the exam, him telling everyone that they need to go save Deku and All Might. Now, inside that fallen building, All Might would have been in a very dark place, since, underneath all those rocks and rubbles, there isn't any light going through them, meaning that it is very dark. But that was when All Might would have seen a light in the darkness, him being a bit confused as that light would have glowed and grown even bigger, him seeing Deku with, a spike in his chest, who is also holding up the entire, rock that was about to crush both of them. By the way, Deku does not have his darkness for some reason, and he is currently using his goddess powers. Him asking All Might, are you okay? Yamidoria, I'm fine, but you... As before All Might can finish his sentence, Deku would have just said,
Good. That's very good. Damn it. Why is there a spike in my chest? Damn it.
Yamidoria, please, let me handle it.
No, All Might. I'm fine. It just hurts a lot. But I do have a question for you.
All Might being confused, he would have said, Yes, Yamidoria, what is it?
All Might, why are you so skinny? And why is there a giant injury in your stomach area?
As All Might would have looked down to see that he is currently in his quote-unquote small might form, or just his skinny form. Him also seeing that his hero costume, which was around his stomach area, has been torn off, meaning that Deku is currently looking straight at All Might's injury, with All Might just saying,
Now is not the time for that, Yamidoria. We need to get you to recovery, girl.
Deku saying,
No, we don't.
All Might being even more confused, him asking,
Why? Because did you really think that a normal person will be able to survive this?
As All Might, after thinking about the situation even more, he would have realized that no normal person will be able to, of course, survive a spike in his chest. Him asking Deku, Young Midoriya, what are you exactly?
I will tell you that, All Might, but in exchange, I want you to tell me what happened to you with that injury and why you can basically deflate.
With All Might agreeing to that quote-unquote exchange, he would have told Deku about his injury and how he got it. After that, Deku would have told All Might that he is basically not human and that he has 7 hearts. Him also telling All Might that the spike is currently piercing one of his hearts, which is why it is causing that much pain to Deku. Now, after that exchange of information, Deku would have felt that the rock he is holding right now and is preventing from falling onto both him and All Might is getting a bit lighter and, well, also sometimes a bit heavier. As on top of all those rubble, Thalia, who is controlling dozens of stone golems, are currently trying to save both Deku and All Might, with the rest of Class 1A and the teachers helping as well. Also, if you were wondering why Thalia and Cementos can't just manipulate the cement and rocks, it's because inside those rocks and cement, there are some non-rocks and non-cement things, like support steel or different metals. So if they did try to manipulate those rocks and cement, those non-rocks and non-cement things might just fall onto Deku and All Might and, well, injure them even more. Now, back under the rubble, Deku would have asked All Might,
Hey, All Might, can you, change back to your buff form?
with All Might trying to do so. Him being able to turn back into his hero form, but just like last time, he is basically still weakened from Deku's attack. Or well, his accidental attack on his injury. As All Might would have told Deku that he can turn into his buff form, but he just doesn't have the strength to throw a smash. Deku, hearing All Might say that, he would have thought to himself,
Damn it, how do I solve this situation?
there's a spike through my heart. All Might doesn't have enough strength to throw a smash, and I can't concentrate enough to use my abilities because of the pain of being stabbed through my heart.
Damn it, come on Izuku, think, there must be a way.
As that was when Deku would have had a, well, flashback. Him seeing himself being thrown onto the ground by Zeldris, with Zeldris saying,
How many times do I have to tell you, Izuku? Control your emotions.
Deku saying,
I know, Master Zeldris. I know I need to control my emotions, but I just don't know how to. No matter how hard I try to control my emotions, they just somehow just have a mind of their own. I can't control them.
It's not a matter of can or cannot, Izuku. It's a matter of if you want to control them.
Yes, Master Zeldris, I want to control them, but I just can't control them. I don't know why. Master Zeldris, please, why can't you just tell me your method of controlling your emotions?
Because, Izuku, every person has a different method to control their emotions. I don't know if my method will work on you.
But, Master Zeldris, can you at least please tell me how you do it?
Fine, I'll tell you. Whenever I need to get angry or get stronger, I just imagine the ones I care about getting hurt right in front of me. This just somehow gives me strength. As for calming down, I just imagine the ones I care about calming me down. As Deku, after hearing Zeldris say that, he would of course be a bit confused. With Zeldris seeing the face on Deku, he would have said, "See, I told you. Everyone has a different method for controlling their own emotions. You can copy me, Izuku, but I advise you to come up with your own method of controlling your emotions." As that was when the flashback would have ended, with Deku thinking, "Imagining the ones you care about getting hurt right in front of you, huh? Well, since my methods doesn't work, let's try it then." As Deku would have imagined Dahlia getting hurt right in front of him. And while he was imagining that Dahlia is getting hurt right in front of him, he would have remembered Dahlia getting hurt and being knocked unconscious in the USJ incident. Deku, after using the method that Zeldris taught him to control his emotions, Deku's eyes would have been filled with rage. Him basically being blinded by rage, he would have just pushed through the pain of being stabbed through the heart by a spike, as Deku would have activated his demon powers. Also, if you're wondering how Deku used his goddess powers to basically show All Might that he is here, it's because he was using all his strength to concentrate on using his goddess powers. But after Deku and All Might exchange information, Deku would have lost his concentration, meaning that right now it is very dark. But since Deku did just activate his demon powers, the place right now does have a bit of, well, a dark purple glow, with Deku being able to use Enchant Hellblaze, or just Hellblaze. Him firing the Hellblaze into the rock that is above him, as the ones that are on top of the rubble, they would have felt that the ground below them is getting hotter and hotter. Them realizing that it is Deku's quirk, they would have immediately told everyone to get back and jump away, which everyone does, as right when they jumped away, the rubble that they were standing on would have been engulfed in Hellblaze, them being burnt into nothing but ashes. And when the ashes settled down, Dahlia and the rest of Class 1A and the teachers, they would have ran in to see if All Might and Deku are okay, which they are, them being glad to see that All Might and Deku are not heavily injured. Well, until they see a spike through Deku's chest. As Deku, using both of his hands, he would have just grabbed hold of the spike and rip it out of his chest, him falling onto the ground and screaming out in pain, which would have of course shocked everyone, with Recovery Girl rushing in to try and save Deku. But whenever Deku ripped that spike out of his chest, his goddess powers would have basically kicked in. With a symbol appearing on his left eye, Deku would have started to heal himself, as that was when Recovery Girl would have rushed in and basically telling Deku that he is stupid, since he did rip a spike out of his chest which is close to his heart, or in Deku's case, through his heart. But whenever Recovery Girl checked Deku for his injuries and wounds, she found that most of his wounds are fully healed, or is in the process of being fully healed, her being of course surprised. Now, after that, Recovery Girl would have taken both Deku and All Might to the infirmary, her basically checking both All Might and Deku's injuries and wounds. Even though Deku is basically fully healed, he still need to be checked by Recovery Girl. As whenever that checkup was done, Deku would have found out that his heart, or should I say the heart that got stabbed through, is of course not beating. With Recovery Girl, even though she knows that Deku would still be alive after, what, losing another 5 hearts, she would still ask Deku if he would like to restart his heart, which Deku agrees to. Her just walking across the room and getting that, what's it called again? Electrical cardioversion, I believe. You know, that machine that helps you restart your heart? Yeah, that. As after Recovery Girl restarted Deku's heart, she would confirm to Deku that all 7 of his hearts is healthy. With Deku thanking Recovery Girl, he would have walked back to class, and whenever he did, Aizawa would have announced to him and Bakugo that they have passed the final exam. But Bakugo is going to get a lower mark than Deku, since Bakugo did cause a lot of collateral damage. And by that, I mean blowing up an entire building and dropping that entire building onto All Might. Now, after school, whenever Deku was walking back home from the station, he would have sensed someone watching him, as Deku would have stopped and turned around, him seeing no one, as Deku would have closed his eyes, him trying to sense his surroundings more carefully. And whenever he did that, he would have sensed someone with the power that is similar to Zeldris, but is a lot weaker. Him just thinking that Zeldris is tired from work, or something like that. As Deku would just continue to walk back home. As over a couple blocks away and on top of a building, there would have been a man standing there and looking straight at Deku's direction, him saying, "So, this kid can actually sense me. Interesting." And right after that man said that, he would have heard someone walking right behind him saying, "I was wondering when you show up," with the man turning around and looking Zeldris in the eye saying, "Zeldris, the executioner." Zeldris saying, "You know who I am, and you know why I'm here. You have 2 options. 1. I cut off both your arms, both your legs, and stab through every single heart of yours except for 1. And then I force you back into the demon world. 2. I kill you right here and right now. Make your choice, demon." "You can do whatever you want with me, executioner, but I'm only here as a messenger." A messenger? A messenger for whom? A messenger for the new Demon King. Oh, really? You don't say. Yes, the previous Demon King is dead. The era of peace is gone, and a new Demon King arises. You can say what you want, lowly demon, but let me tell you one thing. My brother, Meliodas, is the strongest among all demons, and is the firstborn of the original Demon King. So even if you fight him with tens upon thousands of Enduras, I bet he won't even get a scratch off of that battle, lowly demon. Believe what you want, executioner. I am only here as a messenger, and the message I bring to you from the new Demon King is as follows. Zeldris, the former commandment of piety, the executioner. I, as the new Demon King, order you to return to the demon world at once. If you don't, then you will face the consequences of disobeying the new Demon King's orders. As right after the demon said that, Zeldris would have smirked, him saying, seriously, does he really think that I will fall for a trap like that? Tell me, messenger, what is the purpose of the new Demon King's order? Why does he want me back to the demon world? With the messenger just saying, no comment. With Zeldris just grabbing the handle of his sword, he would have said, really, how about now? And just as Zeldris finished saying that, that was when the demon's right arm would have been cleanly cut off, as the demon would have screamed out in pain, while blood is pouring out of his right arm. And as the demon dropped onto the ground, Zeldris would have put his sword onto the demon's neck, him asking, tell me, messenger, why do I have to go back there? If you don't, well, say goodbye to your other arm as well. As the demon would have just said,
no comment.
Very well then. As Zeldris would have cut off the demon's other arm, him saying, so, have you changed your mind yet? The demon saying,
no, I won't, and I never will, executioner. You can do whatever you want to me, but I still won't talk.
Have it your way then, lowly demon. As Zeldris would have grabbed the demon by his face, him lifting the demon up and, well, cutting off the demon's legs, him throwing the demon aside and using rebellion, he would have stabbed and pinned the demon onto a wall. As Zeldris was walking closer and closer towards the demon, he would have again used rebellion to create like 6 more swords, him using every single one of those rebellion swords to stab into the demon's hearts. And as the demon is screaming his lungs out, Zeldris would have arrived right in front of him asking, last chance, lowly demon, spill it or die. With the demon just coughing up blood onto Zeldris' face, he would have said,
go to hell, executioner. I've already finished my job as the messenger. The Demon King has no use for me anymore. Just end me already.
As you wish, lowly demon. As Zeldris would have used his sword and plunging it into the demon's final heart. But right before he did that, he would have stopped inches in front of the demon's heart, him saying, I almost forgot. Him putting his finger on the demon's forehead and saying, searchlight. As a small light arrow would have been formed from the tip of his finger, this enabling Zeldris to see the memories of anyone that light touches, and in this case, the messenger's memories. And after Zeldris finished watching all of the messenger's memories, he would have just, well, put down his finger. The demon, or the messenger being confused, him saying,
what did you do?
It's not your business anymore, lowly demon. As Zeldris would have used his sword to stab through the final heart of the demon, killing the demon for good. After that, Zeldris would have pulled out his sword and lit the body on fire. Not just any fire, but Hellblaze. Him also doing the same thing to the rest of his body, and by that I mean the messenger's legs and arms. Now, back over with Deku, he would have finally got back home, and whenever he did, he would have found out that there is a letter in the mailbox. Him taking out the letter and seeing that this letter is for, well, Deku. Him just walking inside and into his room, he would have opened the letter to find 2 tickets to Island. As that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'll be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!